And this is going to tie right into our talk today. But first, I think we're doing the meditation, and then we'll do our talk.
But I want to thank you all for being here. By the way, it's been a while since we've gone to a church where it was almost completely full. So, amen, amen. We're moving in the right direction all over the country. It was 20 years ago that we showed up here, 2003, to be your guest speakers. And it was a delight to be here, and it's been a delight. You haven't been able to get rid of us. We're like a musical virus. We just keep showing back up every couple of years. And so we're delighted to be back with you again. I think it's our 10th time to be here. We had to come up with a new talk because we ran out of talks. And so we're going to do our meditation at this time. And we're going to start off with a very simple chant to guide us into the meditation. Peace I am, peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. Peace I am, peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. Peace I am, peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. Peace I am, peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. Peace I am, peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. And we breathe in these words, peace I am. Allow the peace of the still small voice of God to remind you who you are, who we are, one in spirit, one with the peace of God. As we quiet the mind and relax the body, we become more in touch with our peaceful nature. We become more aware that all is in divine order and all is well. Allow the music now to take you on your very own sacred journey into that peace. And allow that peace to renew you from the inside out. Very gently now, begin to bring your attention to your physical body, this time and place, this sacred sanctuary where we come to remind ourselves and each other the truth of who we are, to lift each other up, and to see our divinity. Thank you, Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, and so it is. Amen. All is well. All is well. God is balanced. All is well. There's perfection everywhere. All is well. And so it is. So our title today is Let's Have a TED Talk. What do we love about TED Talks? There's a lot of wonderful things about TED Talks, but they usually give us some information that's just right for us, exactly what we need to hear.
They inspire us, they teach us, they give us information, and yeah, you can get a little hooked on them sometimes.
That's right. They're just the right amount of time, usually 10 to 15 minutes. And so today we're going to be doing a different type of TED Talk because we're going to be doing a talk about a guy named Ted. He happens to be our favorite Ted in the world right now. His name is Ted Lasso. Do we have any Ted Lasso fans out there? Okay. So we're going to be talking about the Gospels according to Ted. And Ted is just, hopelessly optimistic, joyous. His whole goal in life is to bring out the best in other people. And to me, that is what unity teaches us. It teaches us about the best in ourselves so we can use this practice and bring out the best in others. When they asked Ted, what's the most important thing today with the team? He's a coach, but he's really he's more than just a coach. He's a life coach, okay, disguised as a soccer coach. Somebody said, what's Ted Lasso? And I said, well, Ted Lasso is really a TV show. It's a comedy. It's actually a spiritual growth show disguised as a football comedy. Okay, so I'll give you an example. If one of his players or anybody he knows puts themselves down, he says, you putting yourself down right now is a lot like Woody Allen on the clarinet. I don't want to hear it. All right, hit it, honey.
All right, and hopefully today you will be lassoed by Ted Talk.
How y'all doing? I'm Ted Lasso. I'm your new coach. I love a unity church. Feels like potential. We're all here to bring out our potential and to bring out other people's potential. So I'm going to turn it back over to Armand and Angelina because they're going to be talking about me today. But I just wanted to say hi to all y'all. Thank you.
Right. So as Armand said, Ted wants everyone to see their own greatness. So if there's someone that's not so in love with themselves or happy with others, Ted will show them a way maybe that can work for them.
Exactly. And so Ted is, even though when you're a coach of a team, Ted Lasso, the whole story is a little bit of a fish out of water story. Because he's never been to England, he doesn't know anything about soccer, he only knows American football, and he gets hired to coach a soccer team in England knowing nothing about it. We've all been a fish out of water at times, and it can be very challenging. And that's when our spiritual principles have to really kick in to remind us that all will work out, and we just have to keep being the best we can be. He always...
sometimes some of us are a little too afraid to do that, and so we don't ever push ourselves to go out there because, we don't want to be too... shine too much or see where that goes, because I'm safe here, but I may not be safe there.
And Ted inspires us to go out and step out of our comfort zone, to step out of our box and become who we were meant to be. When they ask him about winning and losing, he always says, I've never been that much concerned about winning or losing. I've only been concerned about bringing out the best of my players on and off the field, okay? And so we're always on or off the field to some extent of life. And to bring out the best in ourselves and others is one of the wonderful things that Ted reminds us of. And so we're going to be talking about how Ted approaches things. I'll give you an example. Ted, he likes the idea of staying present and being in the now, okay? He doesn't like the idea about worrying about things that haven't happened. Okay, have you ever worried about something that was supposed to happen and you stressed out over it and then it never happened? My wife does that a little bit. She's overly prepared. I'm going, honey,
because you just never know.
Why are you preparing for the worst, you know? And I have a tendency to just kind of trust that it's all going to work out. We talked a little bit last night. There's a word. The word for people that are always afraid of the future are paranoid. But the word for people that always trust that the future is going to work out, that's called pronoid. Or reverse paranoia. They think the whole world is conspiring for them, you know? And so I believe that Ted is a very pronoid kind of person, yes. Positive in that way. And so one thing that the show reminds us of reminds me of a Mark Twain quote. I've worried about many things in life, most of which didn't occur. And so Ted's way of saying that is this: don't flip out till you find out. So let's say that you think, oh, one of my friends is upset with me. I think they don't like me anymore. And you start to panic. Don't flip out till you find out. You may find out that you made that up. I
love that.
Yeah, you may find out that you made that up. You may also find out that they are mad at you. And guess what you do? You deal with it then. Okay, you may have to make amends. Okay, you may have to make amends. But guess what? You don't have to hold on to what you did forever. Anybody hold on to their negative things they've done a little long? So if Ted were talking to you and you were upset over something that you did in the past that you've already made amends for, you know, you've already been accountable for, but you're still holding on to it, Ted might say, you know what the happiest animal on earth is? The goldfish, yes. Because the goldfish has the shortest memory. Be a goldfish right now. Forget about the things that you've done that weren't perfect. You learn from them, move on, and be a goldfish. So the next time you're with somebody you love and they start to worry about something they did in the past, remind them to be a goldfish.
Well, if you worry about something you did in the past, maybe instead we should look at the wisdom we got from the past.
That's it,
right?
The wisdom we got. Now, one of the things Ted likes to talk about a lot, he doesn't actually say that he's New Thought, but I think he is. Oh, yeah. We heard about him from a New Thought lady by the name of Brene Brown. We have any Brene Brown fans? She was talking about Ted on some podcast or thing that we were watching, probably on YouTube. And I'm going, why is a spiritual leader talking about a TV show? Until I saw the TV show and I realized what it was all about. So we turned Reverend Sue and Carl onto a couple of episodes last night, and I think they have drank the Kool-Aid. I think they will be getting an Apple TV. We get no royalties, by the way, for talking about Ted, because again, he is really just a life coach, and he's very much into the 4 agreements. Again, he doesn't necessarily talk about it, but we realize that as he talks, he says things that are very much in alignment with the 4 agreements. So let's see what we got here. The first 4 agreement is always do your best. Mm-hmm. Okay. Even if you don't do a good job, know that you're always doing your best at the time. I do believe, and many of you probably agree, everyone's doing the best they can at that time with their current state of consciousness. And that doesn't mean your best doesn't improve. You know, one of the ways that they talk about having your best improve is reach out to other people and ask them to help you on your journey. Ram Dass says we are all walking each other home. I love that idea. We're all walking each other home. So help each other, but sometimes it's hard to get help if you don't reach out and invite some help in. Somebody's going to see things from a little different perspective than you, and they're going to give you some wisdom that's going to help you raise your vibration so your future best is better than your now best, even though your now best is still your best.
Also, like bowling. You always say this because we haven't bowled in a long time, but we used to bowl.
We used to bowl all the time, and what I love about bowling is it's just silly.
It is silly.
It's, I mean, even, you may not know this, but bowling was originated by Fred Flintstone. I saw Fred and Barney bowling on the Flintstones when I was a kid, and I said, that's where it came from. I always wondered where bowling came from.
Well, now, I am not a good bowler. I do a lot of gutter balls, but, you know,
you
people
beating yourself
always,
up right now is a lot like Yoko Ono on a Beatles album. I don't want to hear it. Okay, sorry.
But people always want to tell me how I could do better, and if I stood this way, or if I did this, and I say to them, but then it may not be fun for me, because I'm having so much fun, even though I do not play well. So
that's right. And so bowling, basically, if you bowl, you know you have two balls. If you get a strike, you don't have to use the second ball. If you don't get a strike, use the second ball to see if you can get them all down. And if you don't, you don't. But in life, I believe God gives us unlimited bowling balls. Okay? Angelina is the 13th time I threw the ball down the way. It took 13 balls to hit the jackpot.
that's right.
And God just kept saying, try again, try again, try again. So my friend Bob Marshall.
Maybe I should put those little guards up so I don't get the gutter balls, right?
Yeah. Well, and if you think about it, one thing that'll help you keep the ball out of the gutter, all right, keep the ball out of the gutter, is practicing your principles. Right, okay, you're going to be more on track if you practice your principles, your prayer, your meditation, your trust in everything's in divine order. Remember, a lot of these principles are beyond our intellectual mind. They're into our metaphysical mind. So even if you don't understand them, you can still trust them. You've probably heard that faith doesn't mean you understand something. Faith means you know the wisdom behind it even when you don't understand it. You may have heard this, that faith stands for feeling all right in the heart. Doesn't mean that you always understand it in your mind. You feel all right in the heart. And that way you have your faith to move on and be the best you can be. So another one of the 4 agreements is be impeccable with your words. Now, the love is a boomerang concept is if you want to speak things that are positive, then you will bring that back into your life. You're being impeccable with your words. You're using words that are in alignment with who you are. And when you use words and thoughts and actions that are not in alignment with who you are, you're out of alignment, you're out of impeccability, then you have those consequences, okay? And so that's very, very important. So one of the things...
Ted has a great thing that he and his wife do. They have a word, and it's Oklahoma. So, and they say...
Yeah, so you can use any word you want, but they use the word Oklahoma, and they never explain why they use that word. She's been using all different states lately. But sometimes we're not exactly impeccable with our word. Sometimes we're patronizing, or sometimes we reluctantly say yes when we don't really mean yes. And Brene Brown says the people that you can trust their yeses the most with are the ones that have a firm no. If you have a firm no, then when somebody says yes, and Angelina and I both have been a little bit of people pleasers most of our lives, and we're learning that no means self-pleasers. Sometimes saying no is the most important thing that you can do to take care of yourself, setting boundaries, saying no. So if you're in a relationship and you're wondering if your partner or your friend or your wife or your husband are patronizing you and not being really impeccable with their words, you can find a word that you use and let them know. If I use this word, then you have to tell me the God's honest truth. So let's give them an example of how Oklahoma might work.
Armand, when we get home tomorrow, would you like to make dinner for us?
Sure.
Oklahoma.
Not at all. So you see, so she's questioning, the way he said, sure, I'm not sure, it's, let's check in. No. And so when Angelina says, I would like you to take care of dinner, I do. Hi, Hokkaido Japanese sushi restaurant. I would like a spicy tuna roll, 1 avocado roll, a miso soup, and a green salad with ginger dressing. And then I go pick it up.
Now, this works really well, too, because Armand likes to prank me a lot. And so if I say Oklahoma, he has to tell the God honest truth.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about this honesty thing, is it messes up my ability to prank. Yeah. So give an example. The other night, I said, I just got a call from so-and-so, and they're coming to stay at our house tonight. And she goes, Oklahoma? And I said, no, they're actually coming to stay at our house tonight. That's a normal prank.
I had to say it again because I just didn't
That's a normal
him.
prank I would play from her. But at 10 o'clock at night, I got a call from one of my friends that said, my AC is out. Something broke, and I'm going to be really hot. Can I stay in your guest room? And yeah. And so when we got there, it was kind of like a high school friend coming and visiting you, and we stayed up. Anybody play cornhole? So we have a cornhole set up in our home. It goes from the edge of the couch all the way to the dining room wall. And it's almost a regulation size. And so he gets there, and he's tired. It's 10 o'clock at night. He goes, boy, I got to get to bed. And I go, one game of cornhole? So, yeah, and having fun, laughing, joking, as we talked about last night, joking and laughing and bringing up your vibration makes you feel better. Okay, let's see what else we got here. That's our be impeccable with your words. Now, don't take anything personally. Okay, that's a tough one.
That is a tough
It's
one.
very easy for we to think that something's going on with somebody. It must be something we did wrong. We're bad people. And, I talked a little bit about this last night. One of the things he likes to do is never, ever take what somebody else is saying or doing to him as a reflection upon him. So let's say he and his buddy, he has a sidekick in the TV show called Beard. Angelina is my sidekick. Angelina, she's always trying to keep me on the right track. You're like my wingman, but that doesn't sound right. You're like my wing woman. That doesn't sound right either. You're like my wing angel. You're my wing angel. Keeps me on track, just like Coach Beard keeps him on track. So every now and then somebody will say something really mean to Ted because he's a fish out of water and he doesn't understand English culture, and they just don't want him there. And they'll say something horrible, and Coach Beard will say something like, what was that all about? And he'll say, well, it's an inside joke, mostly inside of him. And that's the truth. If somebody's got something negative to dump on you, that's an inside joke, mostly inside of them. I always say this, have you noticed that people aren't as nice as they used to be on the roads? And somebody will come by and they'll shoot me the finger and I go, oh my God, he thinks I'm number one. That is so awesome. That is so awesome. And we can turn this thing around because it's just a way to lift up our spirits when they might otherwise not be lifted up. Okay, so that takes care of don't take things personally. Angelina, you want to talk about anything you don't like about your hair?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? I just think always my hair looks so frizzy and it's just not feeling, I don't know. I hate my hair sometimes.
Woody Allen on the harmonica again. I don't want to hear that. You're beautiful. You look fabulous. And again, he's not putting people down. He just doesn't want to hear people put themselves down.
Right. Because how horrible, even when I say I hate my hair, it doesn't feel good to put yourself down and say that.
Before I saw Ted Lasso, what I used to say, and I still say it now and then, and she says it to me too, if we say something negative about ourselves, would you say that to your 5-year-old child? No. Right. Then why say it to yourself? Because there's a 5-year-old child in all of us. We are all children of God. And do you know how I know that? I have never read that we're adults of God. You haven't, have you? So you must be a child of God. That's perfect. Okay, so that takes care of that. And then we have, I guess we covered all of that. Oh, no, we got one more. We got one more. Don't make assumptions. Anybody ever made assumptions? We know what that does, right? We all know what it does. And so he quotes Walt Whitman. Be curious, not judgmental. If you start to make a judgment about somebody, do a shift. Do a thought change. Do a reframe. I don't really understand that person. What's going on? Judge them as wrong or be curious. Maybe ask them a question. The greatest example of that for me is this situation where there was a group of women and they were all talking about pro-life, pro-choice. Now, you could probably get an idea that that would be a very uncomfortable subject. And there was one woman that was particularly pro-life, and she was very adamant about it. And she was getting judgment from some of the other women. And one woman decided to be curious and say, I noticed that you're very adamant about pro-life. Would you tell me why you're there? Is this because of your church? Is it because what? And she said, and this is a very emotional thing, I've always wanted to have a child, and I couldn't. And when I see women that could, don't, it hurts my heart. Now, do you see what just happened there? It was no longer a talk about pro-life and pro-choice. It was two people talking about their hearts. And we can always empathize with people, even if we don't agree with them, we can empathize with them if we're curious as to why. Why, as opposed to being judgmental. Be curious, not judgmental. So one of the things that he, again, talks about and reminds everybody is that things are going to work out. He says, treat life like it's a romantic comedy. And he says, what happens in a romantic comedy? Super attractive people get together, which is all of us. Super attractive people get together. They hang out a while. Some weird stuff happens. They go into the dark forest. They come out of the dark forest, and everything works out at the end. He says, treat life like a rom-com, okay? Treat life like a rom-com. Trust that it's going to have a happy ending. Trust that it's all going to work out. Trust that everything's in divine order, okay? If you can do that, you will enjoy your life more because you're hoping and looking. Think about it. If you lose your way, think about losing your way like losing your keys. You're going to find your keys, but are you going to find them quicker if you're looking for them or you just assume they're gone?
Okay, after a year, you still can't find them. Can you assume they're
Then
gone?
you can assume they're gone, yes. Then you might have to make it, yeah, that's about a year ago, she lost the keys to the car. We have no idea where they are. She drove the car home, she came in the house, and they are gone. That's a realistic example. Like sometimes you just have to deal with it.
I still look for them,
and
though.
get a new
Try
set of
not
keys.
look for them anymore.
But yes, but when it comes to spiritual stuff and when it comes to life, always be looking for the lemonade out of the lemons. Always be looking for the positivity. Always be trusting that it's gonna ultimately work out. And that leads us into our final song for the message. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not okay. That's exactly right. Woo. And we hope you will sing it with us. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Nothing in this universe will ever last. So if you're feeling low, this too shall pass. Nothing in this universe will ever last. So if you're feeling low, this too shall pass. Because everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. We're gonna sha-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la-la. Every happy song has to have some sha-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la-la. Even when the darkness seems to hide you away, after every night, a brand new day. Even when the darkness seems to hide you away, after every night, A brand new day. A brand new day. A sunny day. Maybe too sunny today. Okay. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Let's sha-la-la-la now. Sha-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la-la. Okay, here comes the tricky part. Even when it all just seems to go your way, don't get attached, it's gonna change. Even when it all just seems to go your way, no matter how many times you saw The Secret, it's still gonna change. That's okay, because everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Just the audience. Perfect. It's not the end. It's not the end. So if you don't like the weather, wait a day. It's not the end. It's not the end. If it's too hot for you, be thankful for AC. It's not the end. It's not the end. And if your friend's AC goes out, invite them over. It's not the end. But this is the end. Okay, quick question. Do you believe in angels? I believe in angels. Do you believe in angels?
I believe in angels.
Now, if you ask Ted if he believes in angels, he would say, I do believe in angels, but I think it's more important that they believe in themselves. Thank you. And now the blessing, the gifts and tithes.
It is time for the blessing of our gifts and tithes. So, whoa. So, if you will hold them in your hands, rub that loving energy into them, and those people at home, you can click on the donate button. So, and let's affirm our blessing together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, that this is so.